Okay, let's lock in. Um, First off, this week has been really amazing. I got to present the UL Research Institute Symposium. Got to present on my framework for evaluating RAG systems, RAG is retrieval augmented generation. I could touch about that on a separate video. I actually think I want to do a video explaining retrieval augmented generation because I've talked about it so many times. I feel like just having one video I can link to at all times will be really helpful. But got that done. I'm got to connect with a lot of really cool people. One person being the Elham Tabasi. She was someone who was pivotal in making the AI risk management framework from NIST, National Institute of Safety and Technology, that the government was or is using to implement AI into its operations. The reason I say was because I know the Trump administration released a document kind of outlining how they're going to be using AI moving forward. From what I understand, well, from what I've heard so far, it was a lot more on the deregulation side of stuff. But I have not looked at the document myself, so I can't talk too much about it. I could be completely wrong, but that's just going to be a video for another day. But besides connecting with a lot of cool people and presenting on my framework, got to hang out with a lot of people from the interns to my coworkers to family and friends. And it's just been a really amazing week. I think that's like the star of my week, honestly. It's just been a really nice time to just hang out with people and learn more, especially when it comes to the interns and just coworkers. I feel like that's something that's both good socially and professionally, but I think it was just fun in general. I could talk about like all the reasons or the factors or the outcomes of that, but I just think to sum it up, it was a really fun time. I really liked it. I really I wish there was more moments like that, but I think that's just something that's really cool, just to meet people who you have no idea who you had no idea existed like a couple months ago. It's like the most fun or funny people you've met. And it's really cool. Um, but yeah, moving forward though, I'm going to be traveling to North Carolina on Monday, because the other half of my team in Euro Science and Engagement is based in North Carolina, so we're gonna meet each other, have a nice dinner, have some cool meetings, and then I'm gonna come back to Chicago on Tuesday. And from there, I'm just gonna be business as usual. It's gonna be wrap up my internship, especially with a final presentation on just what I've been doing. I think it's been cool. I've got to work on different stuff, but I think this AI evaluation pipeline is like my magnum opus of the internship. I really want to make sure it's something that can be properly built on as I leave the internship. So stuff like documentation and just getting the final details is really important for me. I think that's what I'm going to be doing this Sunday if I have time. I've been saying I'm going to be doing this weekend. I have not gotten it done. I am happy though because a couple of days prior, I was able to sit down in a board meeting room and just say, okay, hey, how do I want to make sure that like what are the final touches on the RAG evaluation pipeline or framework, and I got those details down. So it's just a matter of implementing them. And a lot of them aren't technically challenging. It's just a matter of just doing it. So I think being able to sit down for an hour or two and just like focus on that purely would be enough to get it done. But I'm sure there's gonna be bugs that arise in doing that, so that increases to like maybe 5 hours or so. That's gonna be a focus for next week. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of like bittersweet to end the internship, but it's just a matter of how stuff work. I'm gonna put a hold on Dig, Quest, and all of that just till I can focus on this internship in the next couple of days. Another thing that's been getting me kind of down is Project Phillips. Did not finish that. And that's something that always gets me down. It's not something I use as a crutch to say, okay, since Project Phillips didn't end, I have to be sad for the rest of the week. No, but it's something I'm disappointed in myself that I have not been able to do yet. With that being said, how's it gonna end? I honestly don't know. I haven't put much time into thinking about it. I know I have to go back to being an R. I have to go to my RA training by August 8th, and it's like July 26th. So the time gap between that, it is theoretically possible to get stuff done. Project Phillips ending is outlined. Just a matter of filming and editing. I don't think it should be too. Actually, that's a lie. Um, the filming shouldn't be too hard, but the editing should be much harder than I'm ready. I imagine like the difficulty I'm imagining it right now. I'm sure it's gonna be even more difficult than that. So just figuring out how to get that done and just being very intentional. I think that's the biggest issue with Project Phillips and just the episodes in general. Is I'm not very intentional with how I do them. So the outcome isn't as intended essentially. So whether it's like, oh, I intend to whether I want whether I want this episode to come out this way, I'm not very intentional about planning it out, or whether I want the product to end at this time, I'm not very intentional in doing that. So I think that's my biggest issue, and just being able to build that intention and build that discipline to make it to execute it is something I really need to focus on and improve on. But yeah, so just to summarize, next week is gonna be focused on finishing the internship or finishing my project for the internship, and then near the end of the week, I'm just gonna be practicing my final presentation at the end of the internship. Uh, there isn't much details besides that I can offer at the moment. There's some stuff going on with the Uber pit deal, so that's gonna be really awesome to see how that goes. I'm going to start preparing the meeting for that by Monday, so that's gonna be really cool to see how that's done. I'm thinking about if I should do it as a pitch of a new project or say let's talk about this and let's get your ideas. But I think the biggest issue is just trying to figure out where the funding is coming from, because whoever gives the fund is kind of going to be leading that project in a sense. So just being figuring out how that works is going to be really important before we can move forward. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.